Let's get started here because I know I'm running a little loose on time here. So today is Wednesday, June the 7th. My name is Hugh. I'm the head trader and trainer for daytradespy.com. And thank you for that amazing introduction, Renee. Little brief background about myself. I got to tell you, I'm not a floor trader. All right. I do not spend a whole lot of time on Wall Street, although I did eat at the hot dog stand on the front there once. I got to tell you, my background is a little bit different. I actually come from an internal audit background. I used to be an internal auditor for a Fortune 500 company. But I'll tell you, my real training, all right, came from, and I'm going to do this very briefly here, the fact that I had, like the good employees, salaried employees, to give a lot of my money to my financial guru to invest. And one day I woke up and realized he only had about half of my principal in there. And I had some words with this guy, Mike, and I said, what's going on? And he's trying to keep me, and I'm trying to leave. And I had enough. I cut out. I said, just cut me a check for whatever you have left. I'm out of here. I obviously have to learn how to do this myself. So I took a lot of courses and did a lot of different things. I finally found a system that works really, really well for me. And then when I brought home all the toys, new cars, vacations, new house, new airplane, all these things, my friends, family, neighbors all started saying, okay, Hugh, what's going on? What are you doing? So that's when I actually started teaching people. They coerced me into teaching them and showing them, and everything is just history. So this business aspect is actually quite by accident. So I kind of came out of the trenches. And I'll tell you, that's a good place to come from, because this is where you really learn this stuff. Now, in the process, I lost fortunes on the road to success, but I also made a lot of money. But for every loss I had, I took away a lesson. And I learned those lessons the hard way. But I always knew there's money in this business. I knew it. I always knew, and I would always go back to an option chain. I'd look at the low and the high of the day, and sometimes it'd be like a 1,000% spread. And I said, wait a second. This option hit a low of 10 cents today, and it hit a high of $1, and I can't make just 10%. Obviously, there's something wrong. I got to learn this, and I eventually did master it. And I learned these lessons the hard way, and through that, I am now in the fortunate position to be able to tell people all these lessons that I had learned. And there's going to be lessons that when you go with a course from me, you're going to learn things you're not going to learn anywhere else. In fact, you're even going to learn things that are contrary to things that you learned elsewhere. But I'll tell you, if you want what I have, you got to do what I do. All right. And you're going to learn, all right, that there's a lot of money in this business, and you can have your share of it, your fair share. And I'll tell you, making money is great. But what I really found the greatest satisfaction is from mentoring others. I never realized this until I kind of got into it. And I got a real charge out of this when I would show people things, and I would get the nurse out west who has a deadbeat ex, and she can't support her high school kids and into college, and then she learns this stuff, and then she lets me know, and hey, listen, thanks you for teaching me. I got all the money for their education and everything else. That kind of satisfaction, there's no money that can replace that. Okay, so yes, I do well financially, but I really, really enjoy teaching people how this thing works. Anyway, let's move on here. Successful options trading requires a couple of things. So this presentation is going to be a little bit different than some of the others. I'm sure they're going to be talking about strategies and different things, and some of them are actually very good. I'm sure a lot of them are. But I think the thing is, when you look for success in the market, a strategy or what have you, you really have to look for first of all, the right program. There are a lot of programs out there. In fact, I'm not aware that this is even a regulated industry. So there are a lot of people who may have had a home run, maybe by accident, and suddenly now they're out there promoting this thing that they have, and whether it works or not, can they replicate it? I mean, there's all kinds of things. A lot of charlatans out there. I don't have to tell you that. There's a lot of people out there, and you really got to kind of search out what's best and what is it that you're looking for. So you got to get the right program, and then when you find something that's really suitable for you, then it's a matter of getting the right mentor, okay, the right coach. So real quick, let's just start with the program. I'm going to go over this briefly because it's all about mentorship, really. But as far as the program is concerned, you have to kind of find your preferences. What is it that you like to trade? Is it equities? Equities, they can require a lot of money. Obviously, if you're looking to buy a stock, you're going to buy, a lot of money for each share. And as the shares go up, you're going to make a little bit of money. And maybe there's something you like in that, maybe some stability or security or whatever, or just sort of if you can't really watch the markets all the time, maybe it's a good place to park your money. Now, admittedly, I trade options, but I'd be lying to you if I told you I don't trade equities. I put a little bit of money, actually some money, into equities to park my money. All right, so I'm not totally into options. I also have stocks that I own, but I enjoy trading options. That's really my cup of tea. There's also futures. I dabbled in that. Commodities, Forex. I can tell you horror stories about my Forex adventures. I don't even want to go there. It's just a bad nightmare. But whatever it is that you want to trade, you have to kind of determine what you want to trade. And one of these things that determines this is, well, how much time do you have every day to devote to learning or trading even? And if you don't have a lot of time, maybe you only have a few minutes every morning or something, well, then you might want to get into a situation where you just get sort of a pick of the day and then trade that at, say, 9:30, 9:35, and then just, put up a sell order and leave it, come back later and the money's in your account. We have those programs as well. Can you trade all day or just at certain times? Again, a lot of this goes back to your other commitments in life. And obviously we have those. And I find that the older we get, the more life we seem to have. People sometimes say, Hugh, you talk too fast. It's because I figure I've only got so much time left in the world and I have to kind of fit it all into a little package. So, but sometimes, you just can't trade all day. So, if you're only given so many times, well, how can we work this? So that too will determine whether you're going to trade, equities or options or what have you. The other thing is, do you have any patience? Do you have patience and determination? Now, in our course, we actually teach and hone patience and discipline and all those things. But you do have to understand that learning successful options trading, which is what we do, is going to be a process. Don't think you're going to get one book or one hour course or something, and all of a sudden you're going to become an expert options trader. That's not going to happen. You're going to have to go through the motions. You're going to have to go through all the ins and outs and really, really master it. And I don't think there's any substitution for just kind of jumping in with both feet, getting into the market and doing it. And we actually have a trading room and live trading with the pro sessions that do just exactly that, except you're going to be walking with a pro trader. You're not going to be doing this alone. Do you want to learn all about the stock market or just one great strategy? I'll tell you right now, there are a lot of places to learn all about the stock market, and I believe it's a never-ending course. You could stay in school just learning about the stock market probably for the rest of your life. Now, I had traded all kinds of strategies and whatnot in the past, but I had found one really good strategy that works for me. And if it works for me, believe me, it can work for a lot of people. All right. Just like the famed investor Warren Buffett said, you don't need to be a genius to make a lot of money in the market. You just need an IQ of 100. So the average person can do this. And just like with our strategy, really, the average person can do this. I will tell you, you do need an affinity for numbers. You have to be comfortable with numbers, obviously, right? All right. That's what we do. One great strategy. Now, my other question is, would you be satisfied with earning 5% per day? If you don't think that's a lot of money, let's just do the math real quick. If you just straight line, no compounding, or 5%, let's say you start with $1,000, you earn $50 net after commissions. Day one, day two, another $50, day three. 5 days a week, one trade a day, that's $1,000. You just doubled your money every month. That's not pie in the sky. As a matter of fact, we do that and much more. If I told you the truth, you probably wouldn't believe it. All right, but that's kind of our strategy, and it's been working very well. We've been doing this for a long time, and we keep doing it, and more people are getting on board with this. Now, when you do find a suitable program or strategy that you think you can work with, and I ran into this with some of the courses I had taken, and my wife reminds me every now and then because I bought these courses. I paid $5,000, $6,000, $10,000 some of these courses and whatnot, and then I kind of got into them a little bit and said, I don't really like this. This isn't me. I'm finding this hard. It's not working. If any of these sentiments, you can identify with any of these, and you know what I'm talking about. So I would put these up in the closet. And several years ago, I cleaned out my closet, and my wife, of course, reminds me, oh, why are you throwing that out? You didn't even open it up. You paid $5,968 for that one. Oh, thanks for reminding me. She knows right to the dollar. But I told her, I said, look, it's kind of like, you lose your car keys, right? When you find your car keys, you don't look anymore because you found them. And I said, now I know a strategy. To me, that's all garbage. And then she said, well, why don't you sell it to somebody? And I said, well, why would I do that? I don't want to sell somebody something inferior to something else that I know that works better. Folks, what I'm saying is this: when you find something, stick with it. Stick with it. Now, it might not be perfect, but tweak it as necessary. Learn it really well. Become an expert. and a specialized methodology. That's what we do. See, that's what we do at Day Trade Spy. We found one very, very specialized methodology that works. It's kind of like if you have a problem with your foot, you go to a foot doctor. She might not know anything at all about the heart, lungs, eyes, throat, ears, none of that stuff. She might not even have a clue about the arms. But boy, she'll tell you exactly how many bones and muscles and the whole thing about the foot. And she will cure your foot. That's what we do. One specialized methodology. Get the proper training. Then you need to go find the proper training. Day Trade Spy, all right? Pull it up, get the proper training, and then seek out a suitable mentor. It's very, very important. Mentors, I got to tell you, they come in all shapes, sizes. You have to choose them as if you're choosing your doctor or lawyer or any professional, as a matter of fact. You have to kind of like get along with them, right? You can't dick around with this stuff. You got to have somebody you really understands, you understand, they understand you. Do your due diligence. Check around. Now, we are in the unfortunate situation that with privacy, I would love to hand over to you a list of satisfied people, but because of privacy concerns, I'm not allowed to do that. And like so many other professional traders, I'm sure we all have, I'm sure, our list of famous people or what have you out there who don't really want to be identified. So I can't refer you to those people, but I can assure you that we've been doing this for a long time, and check it out. All right, that's what I can say. Whenever you look for a mentor in anything, check them out. Oftentimes people look for a doctor, or a lawyer. Say, well, do you have any references? You go to your friends. Well, who do you suggest for a good lawyer? I need this or that, and then that's how you're referred, right? Do your due diligence and be bold. Ask questions. All right, don't be afraid to ask questions. And if you don't like the answers, next, right? This is your money we're talking about here, folks. Your money, okay? You want to make sure that you got this thing covered. Okay, you don't want to goof around with this stuff. All right. So getting a mentor. So what are you going to do? You're going to find a mentor and you're going to ask them questions. First question you have to ask is this: do you trade your strategy? If they say they don't, then run. Don't even say goodbye. Just hang up the phone or whatever. Head for the hills. The reason is because, all right, if they don't trade their own strategy, that means they don't have the confidence to use their own system. All right, how can somebody convey that information on how to use their system if they don't even trade it? Now, when I used to, and I know this, I never thought this was ever possible, but when I went through all these various courses, I don't want to name them because there are a lot of courses out there, but I would put my hand up and I would ask the presenter, so you trade your strategy? And you wouldn't believe how many people say, oh no, it's too risky, I don't trade, I'm just a presenter, I'm this, I'm that. And I couldn't believe it. I'd fold up my books and I'm out of there. I am so out of there. Folks, very important. Do they trade the strategies? I trade what I tell you, and I tell you what I trade. There's no reason to keep it a secret. I'll even prove it to you. We have this service called the Inner Circle. Every morning around 9 o'clock, I post where I see the market going. It's a very brief synopsis. Nothing. Well, this is it right here on the screen. Couple sentences. That's all it is. And I tell you what I'm interested. I may be interested in the calls for a 6% profit. This is it right here. So this morning, here it is, June 7th, this morning at 9:07 Eastern time, I wrote here, SPY rose again. We only trade SPY, by the way. All right, so SPY, that follows the S&P 500. I'll talk about that in a second. So I said that if SPY remains over 243.50, barring any negative news, I expect it to push upwards towards the upper 243s before long. I may be interested in the calls for a 6% profit target. This is what the Inner Circle, every morning I post this. And this is what happened today. Here's the chart of what happened today. This is a 5-minute chart on SPY. These charts, by the way, are courtesy of TD Ameritrade Think or Swim. And here it is. It came down. It found support at 233.50 right here. And we ran right up to 243.86. Is that not the upper 243s before long? Folks, I made money here. How much money did I make? I'll show you. Here's the chart. I show you right here. This is it right here. I'll tell you what I don't show you. I don't tell you how many contracts I trade, okay? I got to keep something secret, okay? Because some people might say, what, is that all you trade? Other people might say, wow, I can't afford that. You trade way too much. But I post my actual trades. So I actually did 2 trades this morning, both in the trading room, which is a service I have. So in the first trade, I got in a 60 out 67 cents in 25 minutes, picked up 11.7%. The second trade, I got in at 87 out at 93, 6.9%. That was 12 minutes, both in the trading room. 18.6%. Don't forget, I was only going for 6%. So I tripled my take for the day. I don't have to trade from now, the rest of the week, if I'm going to follow my 6% target price every day. So this is part of what it is. And this is what a mentor will do. They will show you this stuff, good, bad, and ugly. There it is right there. Ask them what their experience is. Okay, you got to know the stuff. If they tell you they never lose, they are lying. They are lying through their teeth. You know it, they know it. All experienced traders lose, even if occasionally. Inspiring coaches should pass along lessons learned along the way. Everything they teach should be supported by hard lessons. Now, I kind of tell you, I made a lot of money over the years, but I also lost. But your advantage is that you're going to learn from my mistakes because you're not going to live long enough to make them all yourself. Okay. Folks, is your mentor empathetic? We have to have tough skin to weather the trading storms, but a good mentor will relate to your experiences. Look for a good listener, non-judgmental or critical, no egos. Search out a mentor. It's not search our. Search should be search out. Search out. Who wrote this? Search out a mentor who will weather the storms for you. You know, I'm reminded when I write this of when I took flying lessons. It was pretty funny. There was a period in there when we used to get a lot of students from a neighboring flight school. And after a while, we would ask, what's this? Suddenly, they're sort of leaving this other flight school and they're coming over to ours. What's going on? Well, it turned out that there was a flight instructor at the other school who was obnoxious. He was horrible. He was demeaning. He was insulting. And the students would go up with them, and they didn't know anything. Obviously, that's why they're there. But yet, this flight instructor he's just a Mr. Ego kind of a guy, and he would always put down his students to the point where some of these guys, especially the kids, they were so turned off by flying by this instructor, they didn't even want to fly anymore. And we had to say to them, listen, that's just one jerk, all right? Just leave him there. Just come over here. We'll take you out. We'll have fun. And suddenly, the word got out that we were the better flying school, and off it went. So, but if you get in with a bad mentor, it could really shatter your whole career as far as trading goes. So make sure, you look for somebody who's actually like this, non-judgmental, no critics. You don't want somebody who's going to, understand your situation. Is your mentor accessible? I'm sure we have all, I don't know about all, but I'm sure many of us have subscribed to something or bought something. It didn't even have to be trading, but we pay the money and then suddenly they disappear. And then when you go to get some tech support or any kind of support, well, where are they? Where the heck are they? Folks, seek out somebody who is going to reply promptly. So how do you test this? Even before you subscribe to anything or purchase anything, ask them questions. How quickly do they get back to you? Do you have to wait for days? Do you get a response from the guy who's going to be mentoring you, or is it some crony down the line somewhere? Is it a standard reply that that you can see through and they don't have that personal interest? If any of those answers come through, they're not your coach. If you can establish even a little bit of a personal relationship with your coach even before you buy anything, then you got the right coach, right? Then you got somebody on track because they are responding to you even without demanding money from you. Okay, it's not always all about money. So you need somebody who's going to reply promptly. They need to be accessible. I'll tell you why you need that. There's going to be some times in your trading career when you really kind of need answers quickly. All right, you need answers fairly quickly. You might be in a position where, oh my gosh, this thing's turning south. Should I sell for a loss? Should I wait it out? Should I average down? What should I do? What should I do? I got to tell you, we pride ourselves on prompt responses. Now, by that, I mean we are not going to become pen pals, sorry, if that's what you're looking for, simply because we're too busy to do that. But we have programs where we actually go really out of our way to try and get promptly back to you within a very quick period of time. For example, one of our programs is called the Ultimate Training Course. One of the advantages of that is priority email support. priority email support. So when we see your name up there, bang, you get the first response. But anyway, my point is that they need to answer you, and they need to answer you with answers and replies that are fitting, not just generic, generic answers, but something that actually is going to help you. All right. All right. Are their rates reasonable? I think if there's any complaint probably with coaches, and I talked to a few of them, is this. We get people, and I don't mean this the way it sounds, but we get sometimes people say, well, you're too much, I'll give you this much. How about, will you take this much? They try and dicker you down. Please don't dicker. I say that because, first of all, if a coach's price is too high, okay, you're going to spend more time worried about costs. And I have, as late as early as just an hour or so ago, I found a website where some coach, and actually looks like a kid, he's asking $25,000 for some kind of coaching or something. Some of these prices are extremely high, and you don't want all this money going. You want something that's fair. You want something that's very, very fair. You don't want something that's too cheap, because if it's too cheap, that means they're likely incompetent, okay? So you want something that is fair, and please don't dicker over a few cents, because people don't like that. And what you're going to do is simply put yourself at the back of the bus for responses, right? Something is fair. So we try, and we've priced all our products and services to be more than fair. And we've priced them in a way so that it is impossible for you to spend a lot of money to determine this is not for you. You cannot spend $4, $5, $6, $10,000 and determine that our system is not for you. I would say at most you're going to spend $100 a week and then say, you know what, this isn't for me. But it's going to be money well spent, right? If you're going to go that way. Does your coach display his or her own results? Now, this is very important too, because obviously you want that to happen, right? Well, we display our results. We've been displaying our results for years, since we started. Why? Because I feel that you need to see our personal results, whether they are real or potential results. Now, this here screenshot is one of several trades that we display our results on. I already showed you our inner circle trades. Those are real trades, and you saw the real results there. Okay, and if you're an inner circle member, you're going to see those as they happen. This here is actually a pick of the day. This is from one of our services called Pick of the Day. Now, the way this works is simply this. This is a very simple methodology, actually. You would buy at the market open when the bid-ask spread tightened up to within a couple cents, okay? So what it is, it's anchored in time. In other words, what we're saying is this: prices go up and they go down. And we determine at some point before the market opens that sometime in the next little while, the prices are going to go up. So we are going to buy a particular option, and you are emailed the option at about 9 o'clock in the morning, somewhere around there. And when the market opens, you buy it. So today, for example, the pick of the day was the 243.5 calls on SPY that are going to expire on June the 16th. Now, the buy price was actually $1.39. Now, the reality is this. I'm just kind of giving you this as an example. We actually go with very conservative buy prices. So we usually go with the highest of the day at the beginning, between 9:30 and 9:31. In reality, you probably would have paid a lot less. But the high so far was $1.48. 6.5% already. We're only shooting for 5 or 6% in this particular strategy. We put the potential returns on investment there because we want to show some confidence in the trade. So when you're getting 160% or 40% or even 22%, you are pretty much assured that, hey, you know what, this is not a bad trade, and I should get my 6% fairly easily. Anyway, the point is we display this. And you're going to find this on our website. You're going to find, all our trades, all our results on our website. We've got a section that says recent results. You'll see the Launchpad trade results there, the pick of the day results there. I show you the inner circle. In live trading with the pros, this is a live trading session we have every Tuesday and Thursday morning. Hugh's trading room. Every day we get together for a half hour, 45 minutes. You actually witness it firsthand. You see it unfolding right there. It's all there, including losses, folks. We don't hide them. Okay. One more, I'm going to throw this out at you. Do you accept responsibility? Now, I want to make sure that you understand. I'm not responsible for your trades. Everybody is responsible for their own trades. What I'm saying here is good traders, trainers, they're in a constant state of learning. all right? And we're going to accept the occasional stumbles. We're not going to divert blame. I do this thing called the trading plan, which is actually a spreadsheet, and it takes us from $1,000 to $100,000 in 1 year trading our strategy. Now, last week, I will admit, I had 2 bad trades. And there I am, I'm posting up the trades, and I'm discussing these trades, but I said, now, this was my trades, and I took a hit for a few $1,000s. Not at the end of the world, it's only money. I will make it up, not a problem. But what I really wanted to was, I was excited about it. I said, but I'm going to show you something here. Here's the lesson I want you to take away from these mistakes. And then I go on to talk about, what the lessons were and why I got into these bad trades, and I was diverted because they were distracted from this and that, and whatever the lessons were, I went on to explain it. So again, if you can pick up these lessons from somebody who makes them other than yourself, imagine that. Here you are learning a lesson without having to, to take the hit financially, and that's what we do. All right, nobody is immune to missteps, and when I make a mistake, my members are the first to know. And I was actually surprised and humbled by just how supportive they are. Folks, when you go with mentors and coaches, make sure you get the right fit, and listen to some of the things that they say. And there's some key words that they will say that should clue you into something like that they don't trade themselves. They'll say things like, if only, would have, should have, could have. If only you bought here and sold here. They go back and they say, well, if only you bought here at the low and you sold at the high. I've never heard of anything so useless to hear those kinds of words. Because if only, my question is, well, did you? Oh, no, I didn't. Why not? Well, I don't trade. It's too dangerous. It's too risky. So if only, how could you have known to buy something at the low? You didn't know it was the low until at the end of the day. How did you know to have sold it at the high? You didn't know it was at the high until the end of the day. Those words are the most redundant words. They should be taken out of the English language. I make a point not to use words like if only or would have, should have, could have. My question, did you buy it? Or I did buy it. Those kinds of words that I use. Make sure you get the right fit with a mentor. Ask around. If you have to go through 10 different coaches, 10 different mentors before you actually land on one that really understands what you are doing, really is with you on the same page, do it, because it's going to be well worth your while. Okay? You're not going to look back. Well, I'll tell you what we do. We day trade SPY options. You probably picked that up. And that's what we do. Very specialized. We day trade. We go in. We make our money and we get out. Do we ever stay the night? Sometimes. Yes, we do. Doesn't come easily, but we talk about it. No problem. We assess it if we should or not. Our motto, I guess, one stock, one strategy, 1 hour a day for 5%. Ladies and gentlemen, we make the stock market our slave, not us the slave to it. I know you love to trade. That's why you're here. But you know what? We don't get into any pre-market, all that night before scans and all that other wonderful stuff. We don't spend a whole lot of time analyzing to death. We don't get into checking millions of stocks out there. We don't get into any spreads. We don't do spreads. We're never naked, so we're not exposed to any extraneous risk in there. We just want a very simple strategy. We simplify the complicated. All right, one stock, one strategy, 5% or more per day. Folks, if you want to know more, I know we're running out of time here. Renee, thank you so much for your patience. But if you want to know more, daytradespy.com. And now we're at our 8th year, proudly mentoring clients worldwide. We got clients all over the world, and it's really exciting. Okay, so what to do next, folks? If you want to talk about this more, or talk about how your trading career can take off to levels unknown to you, perhaps, book a brief, no obligation, one-on-one introductory session. All you have to do is go to the website, daytradespy.com. You'll find a link on the right side of that homepage where it says, let's just say, it says book a one-on-one with Trader Hugh or something like that, it says. And just click on that. My calendar comes up, and you can just book whatever's convenient for you, right? Book a time, and we'll chat about what we can do. No obligation. We also have various courses and different things. I'm not going to get into the details here because I know we are running out of time, but we've got this one. It's called the Ultimate Training Course and the Basic Training Course. Believe it or not, we have honed these things so incredibly well that, and price-wise too, you're going to absolutely love it. For example, the Ultimate Training Course, only $2,500, and that includes 2 months in the trading room with me, 2 solid months in the trading room. That's where you're going to apply everything you learn, everything you learn. We give you videos, ebooks, and you're going to apply all that information in the trading room and just trade along with us. If you don't learn how to trade in the Ultimate Training Course, making 5% or more per day, I don't know what to tell you. Okay. The Inner Circle, this is where I post my morning proposed trade every morning, along with a follow-up report, which I showed you earlier. Also Thursday night webinars, interactive sessions there, only $79 a month. And as I mentioned here, the trading room, live trading with the pros, these are actual trading rooms. And of course, you have more. So do check it out on the website, folks. By the way, I do have some gifts for you. And it's some really cool gifts. If you don't have them yet, you're going to get them, because I believe we're going to get the list, and we're going to send out these gifts to you just for attending this session, for which I thoroughly thank you. The Kick-Ass Spy Options with Trader Hugh, it's an ebook. Also, you'll love this one, Tales of Triumphs and Tragedies. Some really cool personal tales of some of the people I had run into in this business over the years, and some of them are real heart wrenchers, and others are amazing success stories. I love these guys. I've got a money management guide for you. All right. I believe this so much, I'm not even going to sell it. I'm just going to give it to you because I believe everybody has to know money management before they know anything else. Now, here's another one, the $250,000 a month. This has nothing to do with day trading. This is actually a swing trade position that seems to happen every year. I do very well with this, so I have no problem handing this over to you. This is just a gift. This is money in the bank, and every year this happens. At least let's put it this way. It's happened, I think, every year for the last 15, 16 years. I have no reason to think it's not going to continue. You're going to love this one. Each of these ebooks, they're concise, they're right to the point, they're not lengthy, they're a nice, easy read. I think you're really going to love them. And look, here's what I'm going to give you. Your choice of a free live trading with the pros or trading room session. Live trading with the pros is 3 professional traders, Bert, Bob, and myself. Every Tuesday and Thursday morning, 9:20, we get together for an hour or so, an hour and a half. You're going to love it. It's actually very entertaining. And the trading room, every day we get together at different times, once a day, 30 to 45 minutes as a rule, and we make money. So you're going to be given the opportunity to pick one of those 2 and to pick your time and to join us in these absolutely free. Folks, I want to thank you all for joining us here, and I want to thank especially the Investor Inspiration folks for giving us this opportunity. And I hope we're okay for time here, Renee. So remember, folks, if you want what I have, you got to do what I do. And either way, I wish you all the very best in trading. Thanks so much, folks. Have a good one.